Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald is directed by David Yates and stars everyone from the first installment of Fantastic Beasts back in 2 years ago. And this film focuses on Grindelwald, who escapes from prison and he causes a lot of chaos. And so Newt Scamander and his buddies and his friends from the first installment must go and stop him from causing any more chaos. So I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I've seen all the Harry Potter films at least 3 times, and I loved the Fantastic Beasts, the first installment back 2 years ago. And I aim for this channel to review every Harry Potter film, including Fantastic Beasts, and I would love to do that. And so as a Harry Potter fan, it's just very shocking and disappointing for me to say that I just did not enjoy this film as much as I hoped to. I found it pretty boring. I really did. And it's just sad, and it's quite disappointing to feel this. Yeah, it's not a terrible film. It's not a terrible film by all means, but I just expected so much more as a Harry Potter fan. And it just pains me to say that, really. It's just, I had so much high hopes for the film, and I loved the first Fantastic Beasts, and I just love what they did with the spin-off, you know, taking the place somewhere else, making it quite different to the Harry Potter world. And I love what they did, and I thought it was a very enjoyable and a great film to watch. I don't know what happened here. I do not know what happened here. I think this film is very messy. It contains a lot of convoluted plot holes and characters, and I just found it really boring sometimes. It really does drag on quite a lot. Some films are made to have that slow pace, that slow burn. I didn't see the point over here. But let's start off with some good points, because this is not a perfect film at all, but it's not a terrible film either, because I love Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander. He is such a joyful, jolly, such a great character, and I loved him in the first one, and he has the same exact manners in this one as well, and I really enjoyed seeing him on screen every time he appears. It's just sometimes he's just sort of forwarded to the back, really, and it's just like he's just there, but he's not really doing much. So he is a great involvement in this series. I love his friends as well, but I think one of the biggest characters that I really did enjoy in this film was Jude Law as Dumbledore. I think he was casted perfectly in the film. I think that Jude Law did a fantastic job. It's just very disappointing to see him in only about 15 minutes in the entire film. He's really not in it that much, and I think in terms of marketing they really did want to hype this up quite a lot, and I was quite excited to see him. Just for 15 minutes though, it's not that great, and I was really let down by that. But having said all that, I think he was a great involvement in this film, and I look forward to the future to see how much he's involved in it, because I want to see Jude Law in the character more often. Johnny Depp is good as the villain. He is good as Grindelwald. I don't think he was miscast. Aside from all the controversy, I think he was a good involvement in the film. It's just in terms of the title of the film, The Crimes of Grindelwald, he just really doesn't do much in the film. He's just sort of there, and he's talking in the voice, and it was a very weak character, basically. Nothing against Johnny Depp and his acting, because I thought he was really good in the film. I just didn't really see him quite terrifying or a scary sort of villainous character compared to Voldemort, because Ralph Fiennes did an amazing job in that portrayal. It's just with Johnny Depp and this one, and the title actually involving Grindelwald, he's just there, basically. Aside from all this, the cinematography is beautiful. This film is visually stunning. It is such a smooth sort of, there are a lot of smooth shots, I must say. Some establishing shots that really do show out the film is fantastic. One of the most nostalgic scenes in this film is here, and it does involve an establishing shot. And obviously, if you've seen the trailer, we do get some shots of Hogwarts, and I love this castle. I love this place. It's such a magical feeling. As soon as the music plays, you're in that. You're literally hooked onto it. There's just so many characters in this film. There are so many characters in this film there are so many characters in the film that I just stopped caring, basically, and I found that to be so boring. Every time they were on the screen, I'm thinking, wait, who's this? Who's that? Wait, he's with that person? Wait, I thought he was his brother. What's going on? Sometimes this film just does not make sense. It's just all over the place. I'm thinking, what is actually going on? The amount of characters and subplots in this film, what happened in this film, I'm not sure, but in my feeling, they just put a bunch of characters and subplots and splat it across the entire film. They really do overstuff the film quite a lot, with a lot of unnecessary characters, too many convoluted stuff that's going around. It's a mess. That was the thing that I just did not expect to see in a Harry Potter film, because every single Harry Potter film, including the first installment of Fantastic Beasts, you actually do care about the characters. No matter how the plot or the narrative is, the characters are so lovable and are in so much depth, basically, and I just love that about the Harry Potter franchise. This film, I did not care much about the characters. Apart from Newt Scamander and Dumbledore, that we obviously all know and love, the amount of exposition scenes that are in this film, they depend on those scenes so much, to the point where I'm thinking in my head, without those exposition scenes, there's really not that much to this film. They are so important, exposition scenes, they really are, but at the point it's so messy and so confusing that you just have a hard time following the plot of the film. And that's why it pains me to say that this film really was not good. Actually, what I did is, before turning on the camera, I actually sat here and actually thought about it quite a lot, about what I'm going to say. And all this stuff that I'm saying is just not really my frustration, but just how I felt about watching the film. I don't want to disrespect the franchise too much, because I adore it and I grew up watching this franchise. You know, it's so nostalgic to me. It's just, I didn't expect it to happen in this prequel franchise, because the first one was so great, and I love the fact that they sort of turned away from the Harry Potter franchise and made their own sort of, they stepped off from that part and made something a bit more different and very exciting. And that's the same thing that I was fully expecting for this one. But I didn't expect this prequel to be like other prequels with those problems, because this had a lot of problems. But anyways, aside from all this, it is partly quite enjoyable. Most of the film, it is quite enjoyable, but it's just nowhere near the feeling that I was expecting to see in a Harry Potter film franchise. So I'm quite disappointed. I'm going to give Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald a 3 out of 5 stars. Check it out, because I know there are some Harry Potter fans out there that just can't wait to see it, and I know you guys have seen it, but what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. More reviews are coming out soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon.